the whole purpose of crypto in the first place is sovereignty, freedom, independence, your own control of your own wealth. Banks and centralized organizations have controlled money throughout history at freaking nauseum. It's the 0.1% that we got to look out for. We don't know these people's names. They're like 100-year-old names. They're actually at the forefront of everything. They drive everything. What's their game? Their game is control. They'll never have enough. They'll never be satisfied. And they are the private owners of these central organizations, these centralized institutions, Federal Reserve and so on. And banks are a dinosaur entity. They're a dinosaur kind of industry when you compare it to the technology that's happening, the technology that's emerging. Crypto is not going to go anywhere, neither is the blockchain. So technology is just going to increase. We're just going to continue to move in this technological direction. Blockchain and crypto is going to completely transform our lives. Properties, property ownership, property management, forms, paperwork, voting, elections. Hopefully, pray to God, it'll change elections.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the podcast, The Thought Leader Revolution. I'm your host, Nicky Ballou. And boy, do we have an exciting guest lined up for you today. Today's guest is a dear friend of mine. This is a man I've known for a long time. He's a man of honor. He's a man of integrity. He is a man that we have been in groups together. He's done some of my programs. I'm going to be doing one of his programs coming up. And he happens to be a freaking absolute libertarian level expert in the world of DeFi, crypto, and the metaverse. And this man also, on top of that, happens to be an expert on helping you get out of high tax jurisdictions and into low tax jurisdiction, high tyranny jurisdictions and into low tyranny jurisdictions. I am speaking, of course, of none other than the one, the only, the legendary Michael Santonato. Welcome to the show, Michael.
Nicky, you're the best, man.
It's true.
Thank you, bro.
Can't deny it. So good to have you here, my man. This is a long time coming. Yeah. For real. So, Michael, I know you well. I love you. You're the best. You know, my audience here, though, let me tell you who they are. Okay. These are men and women who are entrepreneurs. They want to learn from us because we're all about teaching you how to be branded thought leaders in your space. Why is that important? Because if you're a branded thought leader in your space, people will want to do business with you more. People will want to invest in what you got going on more. People will want to work for you more, and they'll take less money. Imagine Elon Musk. Imagine Steve Jobs. People buy all their products the moment they come out. People take less money to work with them, and investors toss money their way. Now, in a smaller space, if you're a coach, a consultant, a solopreneur, you're a branded thought leader, you get paid more. People like value your expertise, and instead of making, I don't know, $50,000 a year, you make $500,000, a year, $1 million a year, $2 million a year. So these are these people, and they listen here because they want to learn from you. They want to learn tips, tools, strategies, techniques, and they're all, entrepreneurs like us. They're believers in freedom. They're believers in free enterprise. They're believers in the majesty of your dreams. They're believers in free expression. But before they can really open themselves up to you and take in what you got to say, they got to get to know you, man. They got to fall in love with you like I have, bro. So tell us your backstory. How'd you get to be the great Michael Santonato?
Man, it's an ever-going process, man. It's never done. There's days where you feel like, you got this thing figured out. And then there's days where you're like, what the heck am I doing, So
I never feel that way. Not to.
Especially with all the insanity going on right now in the world, man. Yeah. What a crazy place, man.
For real, bro.
We got to make the best of it. We got to really bond together and align. I know you're great at forming like great partnerships and alliances, right? So we got to do that. And by the way, before we get into it, I just want to say, I love the podcast. I've been listening to some episodes, and I love you. I'm not afraid as a man to tell you I love you. You are a rock solid. Man, you're a rock solid dude, man. Everybody needs to know, you are a rock solid guy. You've never stopped, caring about me. When you found out I was going through the divorce with Jess, you picked up the phone and called, and you didn't just send a message or what. You called and spent time talking to me and figuring out what happened and everything, and invited me to your men's group, which I'm excited to check out. And just want to say thanks for that, man. Love the podcast. Love who you are and the work you're doing, bro.
I appreciate it, man. And right back at you. That's why I brought you here, because I want to have this conversation with you, man. I'm excited.
Thank you, bro. So you asked me about my story. Well, I'm a financial advisor for the last 5 years, and I'm also an investor in crypto for the last 5 years. I think it's a little more now. It's about, so here's the thing, 2016, right? Fall of 2016, I did all kinds of research on this thing that I heard about called Bitcoin. Hours and hours of research, watch documentaries, YouTube videos, read blogs, study these charts, all these things, find out the fundamentals. And I'm certain, 2016, I'm freaking certain it's going to be huge, fall of 2016. But I did not put my money down. 5 months later, friends of mine, a couple guys started talking about it. Spring of 2017, I put my money down for the first time. Said, fuck it, let's do it. Put in, $300, walked into a convenience store, found an ATM, put in $300, got 0.1 of a Bitcoin, got no receipt back, no cash back, no nothing back, just a little on my phone. And it says, at 0.1 Bitcoin. And I'm like, what the is this? What is going on here, right? Totally different, not even a receipt, nothing. And I never looked back, because about 10 days later, it jumped about 20%. And I've just been putting in money since. And I've got online courses. I did actually some online courses and some in-person events, 2017, 2018, about crypto, helping people understand it, because it's pretty freaking technical, right? It's pretty freaking tricky.
It is.
And it's super volatile. But I knew back then it would be effing huge. So there's people that still text me and say, hey, that $1,000 I put in, it's worth, 5K or 10K, whatever, some put some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, and everything is totally low right now. Now is an amazing time to get in. You said this podcast won't come out till later, which is a bummer, because right now where we are, it's like everything's on sale, everything's a discount if you have a long-term view. So I'm in this for the long haul. I've actually been a crypto millionaire twice. I've had more than 1 million plus in crypto twice, because that's how freaking volatile it is. And I've divested, and I've put money, I've taken profits, and I put money. I bought land in Mexico. I'm in Mexico right now. I have 2 plots of land that I bought that I really believe in. And I'm taking profits. I'm doing trading. I still help people get into it. And I have 2 different investment funds, private investment funds, that I manage for clients and investors as well, because people don't want to invest the time. They don't want to learn. It's technical and tricky as all heck, and you can lose your effing shirt really quick. And a lot of people want someone to manage it and do it for them. So I've partnered with some great guys who are great investors, traders, analysts, researchers, and we've got 2 investment funds that are pretty awesome in crypto.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Michael, the truth of the matter is that the media is not a good way to gauge making decisions for your life, period, because the media is owned by people who have an agenda. It's not like the old days where there were hundreds of newspapers and lots of TV stations owned by different people. There's just a few oligarchical conglomerates that own the major media outlets in Canada, the United States, and globally, right? And they all have an agenda. So why most of them are opposed to crypto and opposed to DeFi, in my opinion, is because they represent an existential threat to their oligopoly over wealth.
Yeah.
Like, you think about this, the traditional banking system is centralized. You need a third party to look after your money. You need a third party to accept and validate that you can take your money out, or you can pay somebody. And if you don't like their rules, tough tomatoes, right? They will do whatever the heck they want, and you're out of luck. The world of crypto and the world of decentralized finance allows you to disintermediate these folks and take full control over what you do. And the fact that the markets are volatile, and right now they've gone down, and one of the top 10 coins at the moment has been badly attacked and is trading near zero, is terrible. But it's also a fact that that doesn't mean anything, except that the markets are volatile, and we've known this ever since Bitcoin has existed. It doesn't mean that blockchain is not a revolutionary technology. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not revolutionary forms of asset classes in finance. It doesn't mean that they aren't tons of projects out there that are going to make their founders gazillionaires. Yeah, all it means is that the market right now had a dip, and that there's a group of people that decided they wanted to take out one of the more promising competitors to Ethereum.
Absolutely, that's right. There's many reasons why those nefarious individuals who are just greed-based, right? They're just greed-based individuals. They fucked up Terra Luna. You're talking about Terra Luna and its stablecoin USD. We have to appreciate, like, I really dislike, obviously, the oligarchies, the assholes, the not the 1%ers. It's actually the 0.1%, right? I study the 1%ers like crazy, and I'll share a lot of the things about them right now in this interview that I've learned about them. And it's the 0.1% that we got to look out for. We don't know these people's names. Their names are not tied to anything. They're etched in history. They're like 100-year-old names that are not talked about anymore, but they're actually at the forefront of everything. They drive everything. What's their game? Their game is control. They'll never have enough. They'll never be satisfied. They're out there to manipulate. They're out to take, and they are totally committed to controlling and controlling and controlling. They want, just like George Carlin said in that amazing clip I love on YouTube. Oh my God. It's called "You Have No Choice." They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about us. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. And what do? They repeatedly take. And they are the private owners of these central organizations, these centralized institutions, Federal Reserve and so on. They own most of the, like you said, media corporations and companies. They own all the banks. They own all the big stock and investment and tech companies. They're behind a lot of the crypto, unfortunately. And so what happened that you're describing is a group, just like in The Big Short, just like in the movie Margin Call, with which your other podcast somebody mentioned, which is brilliant as well. Margin Call is a fantastic movie. Everybody's got to watch it. It's a great movie. Really. Same with Big Short. Yeah, what these guys did is they saw an opportunity. They saw an opportunity for massive profits. And what they did is they fucked Terra Luna and its stablecoin, because its stablecoin was pegged to Bitcoin. So they took a loan, they took another, again, margin call. They took a loan, they borrowed against Bitcoin, they shorted the Bitcoin, and they also, we don't know this for certain, but they might have also shorted Luna. So these guys profited like 5x ways, just huge, silly money. And then the amazing thing about the blockchain that people don't realize is it's all public, open source information. The blockchain is completely open source, public information, open ledgers. So 10 years ago, when HSBC was fined and convicted for laundering money from the Mexican cartels, nobody heard a motherfucking peep about it. Nobody heard a goddamn peep about it, because they keep this shit under wraps. But HSBC was found guilty and convicted and fined $1 billion for laundering billions of dollars for the cartels. Nobody heard a peep about that. Now everything's public on the blockchain, so we're able to see which companies are connected to which ledgers and wallets and addresses. And now we know this for sure. There's no doubt about it. We can see the manipulation, plain and simple.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, the folks that did this, they may have made money. They may be happy with themselves, but I believe in God.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian, and I believe God is so much more powerful than all of us. And you don't want to piss God off. And these sons of guns, they just pissed God off. And that's a bad call. That's a bad call, because the big daddy in the sky, he takes care of business. He doesn't take care of business. When you think he's going to take care of business, he's going to take care of business. And the way he'll take care of business is he'll give them blood cancer. And the way he'll take care of business is he'll give them a heart attack and paralyze them and put them in a wheelchair for the rest of their lives. So all that money is going to mean nothing. Yeah, because they'll give it all up. They'll give it all up for 1 second of having good health, and it won't matter because they won't get it. And that's
That's right.
You sow the wind, you'll reap the whirlwind, and that's the way it goes. It's all good. I wish nobody ill, including them. you know, I pray for your soul. I pray for you. I pray for your health and your family, but you mess with God. Bad call.
Yeah, man.
Bad call.
Karma is built into the fabric of reality.
It is.
You know, I don't really do coaching anymore. I still do financial advising. I'm still a financial advisor, but I don't do coaching anymore. You know, I had a coaching business a long time ago. And, you know, you're talking, you're coaching, you're providing value and guidance. And then all of a sudden you get this insight, this download, and it just comes and you're like, where did that come from? And one of the things I got one day was karma is built into the fabric of reality.
That's pretty good. I'm going to write that down. That's very good. It's very good.
Bro, it's so good, because in the thousands of people that I coached when I was coaching, it was like their actions and their results were directly correlated. Their beliefs were directly correlated, you know, and there was just no surprise to me. Karma is built into the fabric of reality. So these guys are talking about, yeah, sure, they got money, but their kids are addicted to drugs, right? They're on their third divorce. You know what I mean? And you're right to pray for these people, by the way, because these are really sick people who do really sick and perverse things. You know, like lots of people lost money, not just investors. The CEO and the staff and the team and the hundreds of employees that worked for Terra Luna that believed they were building a great future, they just endured an emotional, like, shitstorm. You know, the guy on Twitter, the CEO of the company, like, pouring out his heart, like he's sorry for all the investors, like they were trying to do good. So now we know without a shadow of a doubt, like these markets, including crypto, are financially manipulated, and this serves multiple purposes. These people, how they think, these 1%ers and 0.1%ers, is they think in multiple outcomes. So what they're going to do now, UST, the stable coin of Terra Luna, now they're going to justify the need for stable coin regulation intensely, because they're going to use this event to say, oh, look, all these investors lost all this money. We got to step in with regulation. Meanwhile, the whole purpose of crypto in the first place is exactly like you said, sovereignty, freedom, independence, your own control of your own wealth, which has never really happened before in history.
Never.
Banks and centralized organizations have controlled money throughout history at freaking nauseum. So now we've got the ability to have the power in our hands and do what we want in our hands, you know? And that's why DeFi, like you said, is so powerful, and it's going to be so huge, because it's not going to go anywhere. Crypto is not going to go anywhere. Neither is the blockchain. And banks are a dinosaur entity. They're a dinosaur kind of industry when you compare it to the technology that's happening, the technology that's emerging. Clients that I met yesterday, 1% in a GIC. Oh my gosh, dear God, no! Like, he just put it in Bitcoin. Yeah, in 3 years, you'll have tons of volatility. It'll go up half, it'll go down half. Or you can put it in some stable coins and get 8% interest, 8%, 6% interest in some of these DeFi companies, 12% even on your just cash, which is a stable coin in the crypto world. So forget GICs, they're going to be irrelevant. Forget savings accounts, they're going to be irrelevant. Forget money market funds, they're going to be irrelevant.
No, they already are, man. I mean, 100%. It's super important, super important to get this figured out and move forward. And good on you for having done that. And I'm going to be in this for the long haul. You know, candidly, I took a hit the last few weeks. I own a bunch of Luna. I've taken a hit in some other respects this year. God seemed, last year was one of the most amazing years I had in business. I made good money and things were good. And this year, God has just said, slap you down for a little bit, teach you a little bit of adversity, teach you a little bit of humility. So it's all good. Yeah. We're gonna work hard, and we're gonna give all the glory to God, and we're gonna find a way to move back to the levels we were and beyond. And one of the reasons that I want to do interviews like this is because I believe very strongly that decentralized finance is the future. Anybody who has looked at what happened last week and said, that means I should never get involved. Well, I don't want to say that all of you are wrong, because maybe if you're 75, 80 years old, maybe you don't want to be in something that's volatile, and I can understand and respect that. But if you're not that old, you may want to reconsider that, because I'll tell you what, Amazon dropped over 90% at one point, right? And Jeff Bezos was still committed to the dream, and he kept building Amazon. And look at where Amazon is today, right? And, I'm not necessarily the hugest fan of everything Amazon does, especially the way they treat their employees, but as an organization, they've created a wonderful model. And back in the mid 90s, there was a lot of these companies that were emerging. Amazon, Apple was re-emerging from its dark days, its dark ages, and Google and all these companies. And I had an opportunity to invest in them, and I chose to pass. I invested in Amazon and Apple and Tesla later, and I did decently. But if I'd invested at that time, just a modest amount of money, maybe a total of $5,000 to $10,000, I would be sitting on a $20 to $50 million net worth right now, right? And my intention in getting involved in the Lunas of the world is I want to do the same thing now. I want to be involved in some of these companies going forward that I believe will be around for the long haul. I mean, Ethereum's going to be here for the long haul. Bitcoin's going to be here for the long haul. I believe Solana, unless somebody tries to take them out the way they did with Luna, Terra Luna, is going to be in here for the long haul. And there's other companies that haven't even been created yet that are going to be here for the long haul.
Exactly.
And I think everybody needs to see that the blockchain technology has a use case. It's not just some fun, frivolous thing. And obviously you need to be educated enough to see what are the companies that are for real and what are the companies that are like pets.com, that aren't going to last, right?
Yeah, let me share some of the real great golden nuggets that I've come across that make me absolutely certain about all of this ecosystem in this world, right? Warren Buffett, supposedly the world's best investor, known as the world's best investor, he said the best investor, the two best investors, are the ones that died and the ones that forgot about their investments. Okay, that's his words. So what does that mean? Translation: long term, long term. I'm a financial advisor, and I always show the index chart. And the index chart is the value of $100 from 1950 until now. And without question, there's dips, there's recessions, there's wars, there's all kinds of stuff, world events. And the chart looks like, an ascending line, continually ascending line in one direction, diagonally upwards and to the right. That's what the chart looks like. And we're talking about 70 years of data. We're talking about 70 years of data, not a little time frame. And in between, you have these down wicks, these dips, these recessions, and all these things. But over time, you only have growth. That's the way of the universe, by the way. If you're like a spiritual person, law of attraction kind of person, the universe is expanding. It's not contracting. It only knows expansion. It only knows growth. The second you're born, the second a baby is born, it only effing grows. Benjamin Button is a fiction story. Great movie, but fiction story. Yeah. A baby only grows. You and I, white hairs, bro. You got him, I got him. I'm only getting more white hairs. I can't do jack. It's only going to happen more.
And there's this soap apparently that's out there that gets rid of it. So I'm going to look into it.
I don't know. The girls kind of like it. The ladies kind of like it. So anyway, so the other thing I want to share that I've learned is I read this in an economics book. Okay. And I'm quoting this economics book, which is a brilliant book. It's called Economics Explained. Highly recommend. There's this one place in the book, which I was already invested in Bitcoin. But after I read this quote, I just went out and bought more. This was like 2018, I think. And the quote is, stuck with me, burned it in my brain. The quote is, technology is like a genie that once let out of the bottle not only grants wishes, but never goes back inside. I'll say it again. Technology is like a genie in that it grants wishes, right? Everybody wants everything faster, now, quicker, rapid, tap, tap, But it's different from a genie in that once it gets out of the bottle, it never goes back inside. This blew my mind. I'm sitting there in this recliner in my living room, and it just blew my mind. And I thought about this for like an hour. What does this mean? I say this all the time. Nikki, how much money would I have to pay you for you to go back to one of those old Nokia peanut regular phones, flip phones? or the Motorola Razor.
I don't think I would do it for any reason.
You wouldn't do it. You'd probably take my money and lie to me and go get one. Go get a smartphone.
I'm not a liar, but I get your point.
Yeah, exactly. Point. Because nobody's sending less emails. Not many people are writing handwritten letters anymore, right? Nobody's really collecting stamps anymore. I couldn't convince, there's not less.
Is this by Paddy Hirsch, Economics Explained?
Yes. I believe that's the author, yeah. I think
there's another one called Man versus Money, Everyday Economics Explained by Stuart Cowley. So
no, it's the first one. It's the first one.
Plain and simple. All right, I'm gonna order this while we talk. Keep going, brother.
So yeah, man. So nobody is buying less electric cars. More electric cars are being bought, right? There's more electric car companies now on the market than there were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Absolutely. There's more Tesla sales, right? People are sending more emails. There's more text messages. There's more apps. There's faster internet. It's LTE. It's 3. It's 4G. It's 5G. It's 6G. It's 8G. It's only growing, right? The wheel, once invented, never went anywhere.
Never went anywhere.
CDs gone. MP3s gone. Streaming services in. It's all streaming now. Nobody buys CDs anymore. Vinyls are dead. Tape cassettes are dead. Records dead. I actually buy some vinyls here and there. I like vinyls.
Yeah, but, vinyls are cool, but I get what you're saying, man.
Just a collector thing. But all my MP3s that I freaking spent hours downloading and buying, gone. All my CDs, gone, right? Streaming. So technology is a genie that grants wishes. But it's different from a genie that once it goes out of the bottle, it never goes back in. So technology is just going to increase, right? VR now is the big thing, the metaverse. Like, we're just going to continue to move in this technological direction. And that's it, period, end of story. Yahoo survived, Microsoft survived, Apple survived, Netscape dead, so many others dead, right? It's the ones that provide the most value with their technology, that make things, that deliver value on what human beings want. Those are the ones that survive. And blockchain and crypto is going to completely transform our lives. It already is. I saw a video the other day of a investment banker on Wall Street admitting that money, he was seeing tons of money slowly but surely move out of the stock market and into crypto. Property ownership, property management, forms, paperwork, voting, elections. Hopefully, pray to God, it'll change elections if we move to
blockchain-based elections. Yeah, that'd be good, because elections are, what happened in the United States in the presidential election is insane. Like, listen, I don't want to get removed by Apple, so I'm not going to make any claims here, but I'm from Iran. I've seen stolen elections. That smelled like a stolen election to me. In 44 states, Donald Trump's share of the vote went up by between 1% and 7%. Even states he lost, 1% and 7%. He added 13 million votes to his vote total. That is the second most votes added to a president in history. No president in history before him lost an election while having more people vote for him. Barack Obama, just to give you context, lost 6 million voters and beat Mitt Romney. Lost 6 million voters and beat Mitt Romney. So Donald Trump did that, but in 6 states, his votes went down. How's that statistically possible? How's that statistically possible? And he's up big in those 6 states at midnight, yet by the morning, there's vote dumps, and they're between 94 and 100% for what's his name? Biden. For Joe Biden. And Joe Biden did not campaign. He was in his basement. When he went out for events, 50 people came out. I saw a 93-mile lineup of people waiting to see Donald Trump.
Wow.
93-mile lineup. Like 93 miles. There were 200,000 people waiting to see him. Does it make sense to you? And I mean, Barack Obama, like him, dislike him, was the first Black man to run for the presidency in America. You're telling me Joe Biden, who was buddies with actual racist segregationists, won more Black voters than Barack Obama? You're telling me that happened?
No way.
You're telling me that happened?
No way.
Because I'm sorry, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Yeah, there's so much about all that. That's
like it's like friends with actual racist segregationists, pals with them. And he got more black votes than the actual first black man to run for the presidency.
Dude, he's a puppet if I've ever seen one. I mean, they're all puppets.
Dude.
Most of the presidents are all puppets. They take orders. It's a system built for them to take orders, do the bidding of those corporations that you mentioned and the other families and people I mentioned earlier, and the interest groups. But I mean, Biden's just a dummy. Like, if I'm feeling low, already admitted that he's just going to get sick, or he's going to, like, you know, leave office and leave it to Kamala, who, you know, VP or whatever. Anyway. So here's hoping that blockchain does revolutionize elections. And
I agree with you. That would be terrific.
It'll be authentic and automated without human interference. And that's the way things are going, right? As computers, machines, you know, it's just going to continue to. We already use them for so many things. They're just going to continue to make our lives supposedly easier. You know,
it works for me, man. Like, I'm telling you, I'm loving it. I want to learn more about it. I want to become more of an expert in it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. Look what technology makes available. I'm talking to you from Mexico. I'm in this small town, you know, not even like 100, maybe 100,000 people. And you're in the GTA, right? You're in Toronto. Or
yeah.
So it's like you want to get on a rising wave, right? You want to get on with a rising wave, tidal wave, right? Rising tide lifts all boats. But if you don't keep up, you get left behind. So the thing is, the markets are designed to make people emotional, especially now, right now, with everything that's happening, COVID and the Fed raising rates and all these mind games. They're going to raise rates, they're threatening to raise the rate, and then they only raise it a little bit. And then the US dollar is so high, they got to bring it down. And oil makes no sense. And hyperinflation, I mean, you got to read the signs, you got to pay attention, you know. So it's designed to mess with people's emotions. And that's one of the reasons why I offer courses and investment funds where we do the work for people, because most of the time people are not wanting or willing to invest the time. And I can't blame them. You got to look after your families, your job, your kids, your business, your work, your, you know, relationship, all these things. So being on top of the markets and crypto and all that stuff with the volatility is difficult, for sure.
Yeah, 100%, man. And so Michael, given everything that we've just discussed, what would you recommend to someone listening to this who maybe hasn't even gotten in yet? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Because we don't want to give advice on this show, right? Like, so we're like, you know, like investment advice. This is not the place of the show to give you investment advice, but I think we can give them some insights on how to think this through. Agreed?
Yeah, definitely. For people that have not been in crypto, I almost kind of envy them, because like there's never been a better time. And after every dip comes the rise. That's just how it goes. You know, like there's energy in the charts. There's energy in this is money. Like money is also part of God's energy. God created everything, and money is his as well. You know, 100% of everything is his because he created it, right? He or she or it doesn't matter. Like we're just along for the ride as humans. That's it, really. So there's God's money. Like this is money as well. Money is God's energy as well. And everything has a rhythm. If you've looked at the Kybalion or you've studied the Hermetic principles, the principle of rhythm is infallible. You got night and day, sun and moon, full moon, new moon. You know, you got 4 seasons. And you got cycles of death and rebirth, and it's all cyclical. So what goes up must go down, and what goes down must go up, because we have cycles. Everything is based off of cycles. And that's why, like I said before, Warren Buffett says, best to investors, not those who time the market. It's not timing the market. It's time in the market.
Yeah, that's and the best good.
To invest. The best 2 investors are the ones who died and the ones who forgot about it. So if you're worried right now, if you're in crypto right now and you're worried right now, realize that it's designed to make you emotional. The markets are highly volatile in crypto, and the stock market in general right now is just nutty as well. This is a cycle that has been in the making for like 7 years. Every 7 years we go through this kind of cycle. if you overinvest more maybe than you should have, then it's to, maybe you should have invested less or not, put the farm, right? Just dip your toe in if you're getting started. If you're not invested, then now's the time to do your research, talk to a professional like myself who's been in it for a long time, who's seen so much come and go. Then it's time to learn, and maybe it's time to invest, and you only invest what you can afford to invest. You don't bet the house or anything like that,
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
You got to be in it for the long. You got to be in it for the long haul,
Yeah, that's crazy. And for people who do that, who bet the house, that's insane. You should only invest what you can afford to lose. Listen, if Terra doesn't come back, I've lost that money, but I can afford it.
Yeah, good. It's you know what the thing is it really, you have to have like the patience, the discipline, or you have to have somebody do it for you. There's a reason why I'm a financial advisor and I do like TFSAs and RESPs and RSPs for people, because they just want to put money in every month or every paycheck. They want to know what's going for them, and they want to set it and forget it. And that's the right way to do it, is set it and forget it, and continue to grow your business, work your job, raise your kids, love your spouse, whoever that is, right? So I'm someone who has the freedom, especially with my free time now. I'm not with the kids and just, they're doing their thing. I still talk to the kids and everything, and I'm going to see them when I go back to Canada in a week, which I'm so excited about. But I have more time on my hands. So this morning, I look around at the charts and I see what's going on. I see an opportunity. I got some tools and things that I pay for that make me better, and I made a quick $3,000 because I saw that there's a small pump that's going to happen. With the right amount of little bit of leverage, I can take advantage. And I learned also from these 1%ers like crazy. You know what one of the Rothschilds says way back 100 friggin' years ago? 140 years ago, actually. He said, treat the stock market like a cold shower. Quick in, quick out. Yeah. MF 100-plus-year-old Rothschild axiom. Treat the stock market like a cold shower. Quick in, quick out. And so this morning I'm like, I got 3K in profit here. I could let this ride, or I could just get the fuck out right now and take the 3K and walk. And that's what I did. You know what I
mean? Yeah. Those are very different philosophies than Buffett's, right? Which is like the two best investors are the ones that died and the ones that forgot about their investments. This is the exact opposite. But hey, right. They both have their uses, right?
You're right. So I play both games, right? I make some money just from trading, right? Trading is high risk. Trading is not for everyone. Took me years to learn it. And then I have the long-term investments as well. So I have long-term, I have a portion I forget about long-term, and then I have a portion that I play with because I know it's volatile. And trading is a skill that I'm looking to master because this is a skill that can serve me for life in any market. I can trade Forex, I can trade stocks, crypto.
Trading is definitely a skill worth learning. And I'm going to tell you,
risk.
I'm interested in learning all this stuff more myself. I've been working with a fella. It's great, but I want to expand my horizons and learn more and learn from other teachers as well. So, Michael, how can people get a hold of you if they're interested in finding out what you do, working with you, etc.?
For sure, man. So I think the easiest way is, my website is the great entry point, michaelsantonato.com. If you Google me, you can find YouTube videos. I'm on YouTube. I do a lot of YouTube videos. I do videos on all kinds of topics around finance. So I think my YouTube channel is a great place if you just want to dip your feet in and just kind of poke around and see what's going on. I love to educate people. I had a really unique upbringing. My parents were bank managers, so I got a financial education when I was young, which most people don't have. So I'm committed to educating people financially, spend a lot of time with my clients just informing and educating. YouTube's a great place for that. If you want to get into contact directly, my website, you can just book a call and we can chat.
Okay, awesome. We'll make sure that gets put in the show notes so that people can do that. And listener, I highly recommend you take advantage of that. I mean, listen, this guy's a world-class thought leader when it comes to investing, and in particular when it comes to crypto and decentralized finance. He's been in it since 2017, which makes him a veteran, long in the tooth, as it were, in this market. So take advantage of that. Now, Michael, we end off each episode by asking you, as our guest expert, to give us your top 3 expert action steps these are the best pieces of advice that you have for my listener to take their business to the next level. What do you say?
So I would highly recommend reading that book, Economics Explained, for sure.
Yeah, I just ordered it.
Fantastic, brother. Love that you're a quick man of action. Love that. So definitely read that book, because you'll learn about cycles, investments, markets, movements. You'll probably get some good things for your business there too.
Good.
The second thing is, I would say I have a course. It's $50. It's called the Financial Wake Up Call, and it's nothing. It's $50, and it's 2 hours. It's pretty quick and easy to do. You can do it in an evening or a weekend. And what it is, it's a brilliant education on the financial system and its history in a nutshell.
Where's the link for that?
That'll also be on my website. I have a section for online courses. All my courses are listed on the same platform. And that course is $50. It'll give you a solid education in the financial system and its history, and it will blow your effing mind. And then you'll also get your own personal history, like wake up call of your situation. And it's for certain that you'll make some better financial decisions after completing that. So that would be the second thing. And then the third thing I would say is watch a Bitcoin documentary. You know, I've probably seen 4 of them. And there's, I think, 2 that are free on YouTube, maybe even more nowadays. So if you just Google on YouTube, Bitcoin documentary, watch a Bitcoin documentary, 2 hours at a time. Let it blow your mind and open up to the potentialities and the possibilities of Bitcoin and where this is going, and blockchain and crypto, obviously.
Well, these are 3 great pieces of advice. I'm going to do the Financial Wake Up Call course. I think that's fantastic. Give me the link and we'll promote the heck out of it. I tell you what, Michael, we got to promote some sort of affiliate relationship with this, because I'm going to be doing some events and we'll help you push this out in those events as well. I think this is great. So, listener, Michael Santonato is the real deal. Listening to him, the man's got a big heart. He's authentic. He's for real. So take advantage of everything he said. Go to the show notes and make sure that you do the 3 expert action steps that he gave you. But here's the other thing I want to tell you. If you got something good out of this episode, share it with somebody. Don't be stingy. Don't just go, oh, that was great, I got mine. Don't be like those 0.1 percenters. Be a good dude or dudette. Share. Give it to the other people. They need good information. They need heart-driven information. Life is a people game. We need people. This is how you can connect to great people named Nikki Ballou and Michael Santonato. Get our love, get our vibe, get our energy, and make your life better. And if you're in business and your brand sucks, you're not making the money you should be making, you're growing slowly, or you're not growing fast enough, or you're not growing at all, go to eCircleAcademy.com, book a call. We'll do a strategy call. We'll figure out what the heck is wrong that's having you not make the money you should be making, and we'll help you come up with a plan to set you straight. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Don't wait. All right? So, show notes, thoughtleaderrevolution.com. Book a call, eCircleAcademy.com. Michael Santonato, brother, great to have you on the show, man. An honor to be with you.
Thank you, brother. I feel the same, man. Thanks for the opportunity.
My pleasure. And that wraps up another exciting episode of the podcast, The Thought Leader Revolution. To find out more about today's incredible guest, the one and only Michael Santonato, go to the show notes at thethoughtleaderrevolution.com or wherever you listen to this podcast, be it iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, or even Audible. And go to eCircleAcademy.com, book that call, and share this episode. Be cool, you fool. Until next time, goodbye.
This episode has been brought to you by eCircleAcademy.com, the proven system to add 6 to 7 figures a year to your thought leader practice.